Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to build our own marketing funnel based on some existing data from different databases and scrape those data and generate a personalized email using n8n. So for example, in this video, we are going to understand what is a marketing funnel, and for building and top of the marketing funnel, how we can scrape the data using the tools like the Apollo and the tools like Apify, and to generate the things using n8n with ease is going to give us a very lot of the data with ease. Okay, so let's get started. First, understand what we are building today. We are building a overall top of the funnel of the marketing campaign. So if you're just getting started, you first understand what is a marketing campaign looks like and what is the top of the marketing funnel. If you're already running or have already run any marketing funnel, you can skip this part and move to the next part. But if you're not, just understand the basic concept of it. So what is a marketing funnel? Whenever you try to implement any kind of marketing campaign, you should first understand, like, everyone in the world whom you are wanted to target are called the unaware leads, or you can call the cold leads, the people who are not aware of your product or services, right? So that's why the number of people or the amount of people in the world who are not aware is multiple, like billions of people in the world who don't know about you. But once the people get notified, or once you reach out to them, they started knowing about you in some way. And when they are wanted to know more, and if they are interested in learning and understanding about your product and services, they are called warm leads. And you have to collect those warm leads, and then you have to close that leads using some different kind of mediums, like maybe an appointment schedule, or maybe some outlet reach out, or maybe other kind of medium how you want to close the deal. Okay, so in this video, we are just going to cover the cool part of that, where we are going to scrape the data from the different sources and collect the data so that we can generate our email marketing automation system with n8n. Okay, so what we are building here. So for restarting your email marketing automation system, you first understand, for sending the email, you should have a lead list. For generating the lead list, you have to scrape the leads data, or you can also purchase the leads data from other sources. But we are just getting started, so we just wanted to get the free data as much as possible from the different sources. Second thing, we have to verify that the data that we have collected have their verified email address or not, so that we do not waste our time and money in running the campaigns from the data which is not validated. So we have to validate that data, right? Now we have to do the lead enrichment. So from that data, we have to make sure the data should be very, very accurate, and we can write the personalized messages to the people whom we are reaching out to them. For example, if you wanted to reach out to them, some people for your web design services, so you should have a very specific kind of data or information about what this person does and how your services or products could benefit the second person whom you are reaching to. So this is a way. If you have seen the SDRs, the like sales development representatives, they have to scrape the website URLs and collect the data and then write the message manually. But now with the AI, it is very, very easy to write the personalized email sequences. After doing this, we can use the data for running the campaigns and draft the specific emails and run the follow-ups and even do the multiple touch points with the social media. So that is the second phase of the data. But for the first phase, we have to just understand the three parts. First is the lead generation. Second is the verify the email contacts. And third thing, the lead generation. Okay, so now let's start from where we should collect leads. For here, you have to just go to the Google and search for the Apollo. You have to go to the Apollo IO, which is the one of the top, you can say, the lead sourcing platform, where you can easily sign up and create your account. I have already signed up, so I am just going to the Apollo, and you can see, you can search for the people, and you can always filter out these lists with using this filter. So if you go here, you will see this kind of dashboard. So you have to just search for the people and select for the industry whom you are targeting to. So for example, I'm just targeting to the founder and co-founders based on US, UK, and Germany. and I have just trying to reach out to the only those company who have the employees about 11 to you can say 10 to 20 or 1 to 20 people. Okay, and I can choose the industry. For example, I just wanted to reach out to the people in the hospital and healthcare only, so I can choose that data, and it is going to verify the data and give you the list of data. For now, you just make to sure, like for now you can get 100 leads per month, which is not good, but you can just scrape the data for the 100 peoples per month from the this way. But I'm just going to give you some trick where you can like generate or get multiple data from different areas. Okay, now you have to add the keywords, like if you want to reach out to different people regarding some different things. For example, in the healthcare, I'm just going to focus on the mental health. So I'm just going to write about the mental health or that kind. So you can see now our data is much more less. It's only 1200 people in this list. Perfect. Now you have to use this URL. So if you're not able to see, I've just copied the URL from here, and you have to go to the different website called Apify. So inside the Google, you have to search for, let me open a new tab and search for Apify. Okay, Apify is a service provider which provides the scraping services in one place, you can say. So here you will get any kind of things, and you can get, if you just sign up for free, you will get the $5 for free for your computation. But you can also increase to the and purchase any specific plan if you want. But we just wanted to get started. So I have already created, and I'm just going to go to the console. I am also using my free account. So similar to that. So you can search for the different scrapers from the Apify store, and you can search here for, you can say, Apollo scraper. Okay, Apollo scraper. You can see here, like first. So I am using the code crafter. This is the right one, but you can also always choose. There are multiple people who always try to put their scraper on it, so you can choose any of them. So for example, if you want to scrape that URL, what the URL you copied, I'm just going to paste it here, and just, you don't have to do anything. You have to just run and start the things. Here it will ask you to add the payment thing, but you can use your free credits here. You can see here it's scraping the data, but it is saying it has been failed because I have already maximized the things. And once you have scraped the data from there, you will see the list of data like this. But this is not some simple data. I have to remove many more unnecessary data from the sheet. For example, if you scrape the data, you will see that there are too many fields in the in this whole scraped data if you download. So for this, you have to do one thing. So I've already scraped some data. Let me share. So one example, when you click on the export button, you have to choose the CSV option. And here you can select which fields you just wanted to copy from the scraped data, and eliminate the like you don't need a HubSpot company ID or the employment history or sub departments or HubSpot VID or anything data that you don't want. You have to just select all the data that you need. For example, you need the email data, that is very important. Okay, so you just select the contact emails, the first name, last name, those kind of things if you need. And once you just select all the fields, you have to just click the button download. Once you download it, import the data to your Google Sheet. So I've already imported the data into the Google Sheet, and here is my data. Okay, so this is all the data that I've already copied from my Google Sheet. Okay, so this is the one way. This is the first step where you have just added, you have scraped the lead using the Apify, and how you can use this lead generation for moving the next step. Now let's go to the n8n. So if you don't aware of the n8n, I've already created many videos for this. n8n is a system which allows you to create the workflow with the AI, or you can say you can easily create by connecting to different nodes. You can create any kind of workflows for your use case. Okay, so here I have created a system where I'm on clicking this button. So for this, you have to just click this button, and let me start from use case if you're not aware of it. So for doing this, you have to go to your n8n. And so if you're not aware of n8n, let me go to the n8n and IO n8n.io. So this is a website which is where you can easily log in and create your workflow very easily. But if you don't want to pay for this, I have already created a video how you can start using the Docker or free version. You can watch my previous videos. So you can get start with the n8n very easily. Okay, now it giving the basic idea. Now here in this workflow, I have added my Google Sheet, and this is the sample sheet that I have added. So for this, I have already created one another sheet where I have only the 10 or 20 people in the sheet, and here I have added the first name, last name, company name, data, personal. You can also manage this list according to your use case. Okay, so once you have this data, I've taken this data and loop over this. So I have used the loop node. You can search here the loop node. So it will go one by one with each section in the loop. Okay, so like each item in the loop. So just to start from here, when I click this button, so if I click this button, the execution process start, and I have added my Google Sheet. For adding the Google Sheet, you have to add your Google API account. So for this, you have to go to the Google console, and if you just click on this button, create a new credentials, and you can go to this open doc section, and you can easily follow the documentation and create your client ID and secret from your Google console. It's going to be the free for a few use cases. Okay, so you need not to worry about. So I'm just going to close this, and here I have just pasted the URL. So you have to just go to your Google Sheet here. Make sure you have shared the Google Sheet with everyone. So it should be the public one, and just copy the URL from you could say from your browser URL. Okay, so you have to just paste it here, simple as that, and choose the sheet from which you have to scrape the data, and this is it. You have to just click on this button to execute the step, and you will get the data. You can see here I have all the data from my sheet database. Now let's move to the next step, and I just wanted to loop over. Now I have loop over one item, so it is going to run 13 times, but it is going to loop over one by one in every item. Okay, so once you have run over it, you can see here it is just taking the first item in the row and looping over it. Now I have to just do the first step, which is the email validation part. So here you can see here, firstly we have to check like the email data that we have scraped from the App Store or you can say Apollo is verified or not. So we have to do one important thing, like we have to go, firstly I've just taken this field from here and just edited the few field lines from the data that I have collected. So I have just taken all the data and collect the data from the sheet. Okay, so you can see here it is executing the loop. Okay, it is going to this part. I have to just stop this for now. Okay, I have to loop over it, and I have to just choose the first name, but it's not taking first name. Okay, I have to just take the first name, last name, and everything, and you will see it is taking the data from the sheet. Okay, it is to run it again. Just remove this section and just run this part. Okay, so you can see now I have the first data, like Chandra data, and now I have to just added one regex. This small regex is allow me to validate that if the email is correct or not. So I have just used this regex, which is just going to check the string, and if check this string match to this regex, it is saying like okay, the data is validated or not. So it is just the basic thing. If you have altered thing, if you do not add, that is okay, but if you have like the data maybe mismatch URL thing, you have to make sure that it is working. Okay, now let's move to the next step. I have just added a if condition where I have to just check okay if the email ID is valid or not. So with this regex, it is going to return one important thing, that is that if email is valid or not. If his email is not valid, it is going to return the false. So if I have added one more block, which is just going to eliminate if the email string is valid or not. If the string is valid, it is going to the services called ZeroBounce. So for this, you can go to easily the ZeroBounce.net. You can go to Google and search for the ZeroBounce. We search here, and you can easily go to the ZeroBounce and create a free account and create your API key. And you have to just go to their API dashboard. You have to choose the API dashboard. And here you can see how you can see the multiple endpoints you can use for your use case. Okay. Now, for this, you have to just use this URL. You can just copy this URL. This is api/zerobounce.net v2/validate. You can use this. You have to use the API key and add the API key inside the query parameters. You have to just turn on this query parameters and add your API key. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's deleted from here. Let me copy. Okay. Now you can use this API key and execute the step. So it will take and also make sure like you are sending the email data which you want to verify. So for now there is no email data here, so that's why it's not showing the email data in this part. But once you have, like, you have to make sure like you have also passing the email data with your email JSON. So for here, let me move to the second part, which is, let's loop over again and use the second item. Okay, now I have to change the loop over step. It is something complicated sometimes. For doing this, I have to you have to just use the method loop over it. Let's loop over from this step, okay, for now, and run this command, this one, and again and again. I'll check if the data is different. No, it's not. Okay, let's delete the data from the first row. Simple as that. Okay, so I am just going to delete, maybe remove this data to the bottom. That is okay. Again, just execute the flow. It is going to start from here, going to collect the seat data, run over the loop, collect the data. Now I have the different data. Okay, now it's have the verified email. Okay, now check if the email is valid. If the email is valid, it is saying the email is valid. Perfect. Now we have to check using the ZeroBounce. We have sent the data, and here you have to add the parameter called email, and you have to drag this email data and put in the value section. Okay, and you have to just execute this step. Perfect. Now you can check the email is invalid and email box is not found. Then I have just added the Google Sheet and updated the data from the Google Sheet and said, okay, if this email address is not found, add the data that email address is not found. So you can see here in the sample data, and if you go to this part, you can see like mailbox not found invalid. This data is not valid. Okay, but what if the email data is not available? Okay, if I have not added the email data, so what is it's going to do? I have just going to replace this for the first row. Go, and here I have added another thing where I have just added the ZeroBounce email finder. So I have added the new API end, which is the guest format from the ZeroBounce. And here I have already added the API key, and here you have to add multiple query parameters. For example, the domain name, first name and last name, and the company name. Using these parameters, it is going to guess if the data is properly good or not. Once it will scrape the data, you can add the if condition. Okay, if the confidence level of those email is good or not, it is going to give you the response. And then you can always try to again you have to verify this from the ZeroBounce validation, and you can re-verify the data and update if the email is correct. So now you have a new email address which you can use for outreach purposes. So here we have covered the both things. One is the validating the email, and second thing is finding the email using the simple service called ZeroBounce. Simple as that. You can use these endpoints, and make sure if you are just getting confused with these, you have to understand what are the APIs and how can you easily integrate the APIs with your n8n. So API understanding the n8n is very important. So this is very, very crucial for this use case. Now let's move the next step, which is the email enrichment. So let me mark this. We have completed this part, lead scraping. We have completed the verification part, and now we are going to cover the lead generation part. Okay, so here we have to understand how you can enrich the leads data. So again, I have created one subflow here. This is another agent that I have built that is for the news API and competitive analysis, which for this we can cover in the other videos because it's going to be a very longer video for this. But here I have added a very simple, but this is more effective, better way to scrape or generate you can say the icebreaker for your new email clients that you wanted to reach out. Okay, so for here I have just added one block, which is a trigger block, which is going to execute whenever I will try to execute using some other workflows in the n8n. Simple as that. Now I have to add, I have added one if condition. If this data have the email URL, so if this has the LinkedIn profile URL, it's going to execute this process. And now I have added the Apify again, and here I have added the Apify Dev Fusion LinkedIn scraper. Okay, so for this I have used this Dev Fusion LinkedIn scraper, not this one. Let me check it again. Yeah, this one. I have used the mass LinkedIn profile scanner. Okay, so you have to keep checking it because most of the time some endpoints start working because website changes, this scraper won't work anymore. So you have to make sure like whatever the scraper you are using is up to date. Okay, right now today this scraper is working, that's why I'm using it. Okay, so I have to just go to integration section here, or you can just click on this API button and go to the endpoints, API endpoints. Click this button, and you have to use this run actor and get the dataset item. Make sure you are using this endpoints, not the other, because you have to use, you have to go to for the other things. So you have to just copy this URL, completely copy this. It will also include your token number. So you have to just copy this URL and choose the HTTPS block here. So I have used the HTTP blocks. You can always click on this button and search for the HTTPS request block. Okay, like this. And you have to put this URL here. And here in the query parameters, you don't have to add anything because you are not going to send the data. Now you have to do important thing in the body section. You have to just click on the body and choose the JSON format. So you have to just choose the JSON format and you have to enter this data. So for using the Apify, you have to use this JSON data. For example, go to the input section and make sure you always choose this JSON data, and you have to always send the data in this URL format. I'm just going to copy this data and put it data from here, and you have to enter the URL which you want to scrape. So I'm just taking this an example and just removing one URL from here and execute the step. Similar to this, I have already integrated. Let me delete this block. I have already integrated and just taken the LinkedIn URL and paste it here. So it is taking the dynamic URL. You click this button and you can see also in the larger screen. So I'm just sending the LinkedIn URL for the prospect. Now I have to just click on execute the step. It is going to scrape the data one by one and it is going to process once it's done. Similar to that, I have used another API workflow for scraping the website, which is called now the web scraper. Okay, website content crawler. This is what I am using the same process, using endpoints and using the JSON format. You have to just copy all the things and paste it down here and make sure you have updated the URL with this URL and make sure it is in the JSON format to make sure you have added this string option, like double quoted option, just in the front and back side of this LinkedIn URL, so that you can easily integrate this thing with your this webhook. Okay, now you have to just execute this pro or that is thing. After this, I have added all the fields into the one field so that I can easily pass the data to my API agent, or you can say my LLM model, where we can generate the data. So I've just added this code base, simple code that I just collected from OpenAI. So you can ask ChatGPT, okay, I have to merge all the JSON field in n8n. Can you write me a code for that? And you just copy and paste that. So I have just manually written this data because I have to just add all the data and map it out and just join all the things in the string and return the data format. So you can see all the data here is now converted into a simple one string data. Similar to that, in the website part, I have also added this part. Now it's coming to the next part. I have merged both the fields. So I have added the two inputs and into the one fields, and now I have added the OpenAI message model feature. So for this, you have to just click on this button and search for OpenAI. And for this OpenAI, you have to just click on this button and you have to just message a model. You have to choose this one. And you have to always add your OpenAI account. So here I have already integrated for this. You can follow the documentation again. It is very simple. I have already created many videos for that, so you can also follow along with that. Okay, now you can add your close this button. You can go back. I have already added this, so I'm just going to delete this. Perfect. And here what you have to do, you have to choose the model. I'm using the 4.1 mini, that is the latest model, or you can also use the 4.0 or 4 mini, which is the perfect model for this use case. And you have to once you have added, you have to make sure like you have write a better prompt. Here I am just taking the sample prompt, which is just writing, okay, you are a B2B marketing expert, write me the outreach emails, and based on the URLs of that LinkedIn profile and related public data and the short description, make sure you have written a clear and concise icebreaker for it. And now I have passed the two data, the data from this LinkedIn data and also the data from the website data that I have collected from there. And here I have to just click on this button, and it is going to execute the process, and it is going to generate me an icebreaker based on the email data or the data that I have added from here. Okay, let's let it be run. Let's just wait for the process. And once it process completed, it completes, I have to just add this data to the Google Sheet, and similar to that, I've added the link and the result that I've got it, and you can see here you have a perfect data in here. It's going to come. Okay, so here the process is still running. Once it's completed, you will see the data here. Now it's going to take a little time. It's taking more time. Let me choose another model. GPT-4 or mini. It is the fastest one. Okay, this one. Now stop this. Okay, it is executing. Yeah, it's generated the message in which you can see here. Hi Chandprakash, I really enjoyed the recent post on leveraging the AI and productivity and combining that experience. Very good, very good. And you can see here, this is a new one. I noticed Tech Cream is impressive. AI powered SaaS is Pitch Spot Schoolmate. This is the product that we have built. These are so good, so impressive, these kind of things. And you can see here, everything is working very, very fast and fine. Perfect, guys. Now you have built the whole email enrichment system from scratch by understanding the marketing thing and the whole lot of things. So hope you have enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and share with the useful friends. Maybe I will keep creating such videos in this channel, and make sure don't forget to subscribe and like. Hope to see you again. Till then, bye bye.